Hey, welcome back to the table. Alright, so we're going to get ready to do 89.1 here. It's very short.
Finally get a glimpse of the elemental array. A mechanical construct is encased in solid ice. Next to it, a wraith-like creature feeds off its energy. When it becomes aware of your presence and your intentions of clearing the area of its influence, it begins draining the ancient device with even more fervor. If you do not deal with it quickly, it will destroy the thing you came for.
Okay, so it's a boss. A boss is draining this device, and I'll show it to you in a second. Let me get this cleared out and flip back. So what it did was when we opened this, it created, so we have 2 frozen corpses. We have 4 living bones. One of them was already alive from the previous map. And then it put on 2 more snow imps. And here you can see it has this boss called Reinhardt. And so that's in play. And it has 19 health. And then we have to also add... Oops, I just hit something. Oh, it's all up here. Alright, let's remove this one. Remove this one. And then we have what's called the... what is it called? Elemental Anchor. Okay, and then it has 2 times the characters times L plus 1. So L plus 1 is 2. And then that times the characters. Times 4 is 8. Times 2 is 16. So it has 16 health. And I know PEMDAS was still maintained that L plus 1 was in parentheses. But yes, so this elemental anchor, we need to prevent it from getting destroyed. And I apologize, I just moved the chair and hurt my dog. She's okay. Alright, so here we have it. I got rid of this part where the banner was. So imagine that's over here, and there's the door. We're not coming back into this room. So this is the new room, and then of course our old room. This being our old room. This is the only creature that was still alive from the old room. And then the new room has a whole bunch of stuff. And here's the boss. I put the red thing on the bottom. And then here is the elemental anchor. Now, before we continue, I said this at the last time I opened a door, and I'm saying it again. I'm supposed to be bumped back 1 space every time I take a hit. So what I did was I bumped these skeletons and a drifter because there was a frost breath that blew this way, and then this guy hit him, which would have bumped him back, but the banner spear was in the way. And I fully confess to you that I forgot again to do that. Now the only good news is that the spikes weren't anywhere near us. And the one time I did get bumped into a spike, I actually registered it. So for the most part, there is no, what do you call it? I mean, there's probably some retcon that would have changed things a little bit. But for the most part, I don't think it was that damaging. But gosh darn it, I gotta quit forgetting that special rule. That rule exists for this entire scenario, and I've butchered it the whole time. And it's not intentional, I promise you. I mean, I guess you could argue that's the consequence of playing 4 characters, but I highly doubt it. I mean, it's just a rule. You're just supposed to remember it. And I'm so busy keeping track of 100 other things. And, of course, when you're recording, you're doing a little bit more. I think everybody who records will tell you that playing a game while recording is a different experience. And you keep thinking, oh, it's no big deal, but it is. It is a big deal. You will find yourself forgetting things, stuttering, doing the and all that stuff way more than you thought you would. But we're not done. What we did was we opened this door, and in doing so, it automatically opened the other door. So both doors are open, and I am on the Blinkblade's turn, and the good news is that the creatures... Oh, that's right, I ended the round. So technically speaking, the round should not have ended. Ah, well, I don't remember what we did. Like, these guys would just do the same thing as that guy. Um, I know they did an attack against our skeleton there, and I think it was for 2 damage. It would have been 1 damage with these guys. Um, I'm just gonna let it go. I remember we said move forward. I We're gonna have to just keep going and play our cards. Um, we are now in burn mode, and there are a lot of spikes in weird places. There's a lot of ice to be slipping and sliding. Um, it makes for a very interesting scenario for sure. So let's get going. The Bone Shaper has just 1 card left, so she'll be long resting. No reason to short rest at this point. So yeah, we're going to do a long rest with her. So I'm going to put her in at 99. Now, I know somebody said, well, you got to protect that thing in the middle because all these things are going to focus on the thing in the middle. And technically speaking, since Blinkblade opened this door, those things would have all gotten a chance to take their turn and hit that thing in the middle without us getting to do anything. And I don't know how to fix it other than maybe I just do a draw cards phase where I don't actually take a turn. I could do that. And that means that this thing's going to get pummeled. It absolutely does. Which might explain why we need to short rest. All right, let's play this properly. Let's let this thing get pummeled, because I think I'm giving myself way too much of an advantage to not do that. So I'm going to draw cards. All right, so I'm going to put in numbers. It's not letting me draw cards unless I put in numbers. Alright, here we go. Draw cards. Alright, so the Living Bones is going to move a lot of spaces and then do a 0 damage attack or a 1 damage attack. I am not doing that one because he already took his turn. You know that. But these guys would move in, and this guy would slip on the ice. This guy would slip on the ice. So they would do that, and they would be doing 3 0 damage attacks against the orb. So they could potentially draw a +1. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. There's 1 damage. Oh my gosh, there was 3 damage. So 3 damage against the anchor. And we are, by the way, as a special rule, we're allowed to burn cards to prevent damage against the anchor. Okay, so their turn is over. Then the imps would go, and they're going to do a 1 or 2 damage attack at a range of 3. So again, the focus is this thing, because this thing is our ally. So again, this guy, 1, 2, 3, he doesn't move, 2 damage attack, doesn't move, 2 damage attack. So we got a 2 damage attack against the anchor, that becomes a 3, and that becomes a 2, so that's 5 more. Ooh, that's a lot of damage, so do I want to block? I was supposed to technically decide 1 attack at a time, but I'm going to go ahead and let him take 5 damage. I'm assuming we can heal him if we can get close enough. So this is why it's bad. Then the frozen. Well, then we got Reinhardt here. Reinhardt, he's going to move 5 spaces. He's considered elite, and do a 2 damage attack at a range of 4, and then he's going to put snow on the board. All right, so he's not going to move. He's going to do a 2 damage attack, and it becomes 3. What the heck is going on with their cards? So that becomes a 3 damage attack, and I am going to block it. I don't remember what card. It was a burn card. I'm going to block it with this card right here. So, I now have no cards in my hand with the Bone Shaper. I'll have to rest, of course. But yes, I'm going to block that damage. And then last but not least, we got the Frozen Corpse, of which there's 2. And they're going to move 2 spaces. This one would move and get onto the ice. Let's just do it that way. And then this one would move like this and be on the ice. And now they're next to it, and they're doing a 1 damage attack, and they're going to put Brittle on it. So the first one does a 1 damage attack, which does no damage, and now it's Brittle. The second one, no damage. It's still brittle. So the this thing, whoops, this thing is now brittle. All right, and then now we're going to go to resume regularly scheduled programming. Okay, so with that being said, I think I need to quick rest, short rest instead of long rest, with our bone shaper. So that means I got to shuffle, and we're going to burn another card. And the card we're burning is this one, which will grant an ally 5 damage attack. I could lose a hit point and try to draw a different one. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go up to the Bone Shaper, and I'm going to go down to 5 health, and we're going to draw another one, and I will take this one as a burn. This one I think is too valuable. Alright, so now we only have 5 cards in our hand. Now, as these skeletons die, more cards are going to be coming in our discard pile, so we actually technically have more than it looks. I am going to summon another skeleton, but I should start moving. And I think I'm going to do this one here as the bottom, so we're going to go 18. Alright, so 18 for the Bone Shaper, and I forgot I summoned a Wraith, so let me put the Wraith on the board. And that person has 1 health. It moves at a 2. It attacks at a 1, range of 3. Done. Okay, let's keep going. I am out of cards for the Banner Spear. So we will... Now here's the deal. If I short rest the Banner Spear, I don't get the leather armor or the winged shoes. And it is nice to get those items back. But you just saw how these guys are just swarming this thing. So we gotta go in at all costs. So here we go. I'm gonna lose that card right there. The javelin can be helpful, but I'm okay. We're gonna go ahead and lose that card. And then we're going to need to move a lot of spaces. So this will be, for example, 4 movement. I'm going to take it. We're going to go in at 4, and then at the top, I'm going to make it so all attacks hit me at disadvantage. It's gonna get me in the room fast, but it's not going to do a lot of damage. So the number is 6 on the initiative. That part's good. Now the Drifter only has 2 cards left, and we'll play those 2 cards, 66 and 70. So we'll put in 66. I'll figure out what I'm going to do later. And then Blink Blade has to rest as well. So it's interesting. I had 3 characters that needed to rest, and I went and opened this door. And I probably should have rested them before opening the door, but I don't know what's on the other side of the door. I mean, that's half the problem. But I guess I should have just assumed that I should have rested prior to opening this door. Without this thing dying in the middle, I like opening doors and then resting, because then that makes all the monsters waste movement points coming towards us. Normally it works out in your favor, but not in this case. So, Blink Blade, same deal. We will short rest. And we're going to burn this card right here. I sort of like that card, but we'll go ahead and burn it. And now we got to decide what we're going to do. And we are in the room. I would like something that lets me go up and make enemies suffer damage. And then maybe that card that lets me attack 2 people. So we're going to do that one. That's a 45. And then this one, which is a 36, and we're going to go fast. And I'm going to punch in 36 for him. Yeah, and our elemental anchor is only down to 8 health, so it doesn't have much. If it's destroyed, the scenario is lost. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't want to repeat this scenario. Because when you lose a scenario, what do? You come back and you redo it. It's just not my MO. Um, I know how it was set up and looking, and we're gonna just reset it. I, I mean, I'll do my best and I'll burn my cards to protect this thing, but I hate repeating scenarios. That's the one thing I don't like about this game. You don't gain anything. I think you get to keep the experience points, and that's it. I'm not even sure if that's true in Frosthaven. That was, I think, true in Gloomhaven. So, actually, let me look it up so I can stop being inaccurate. Yeah, so if you lose a scenario, you can go back to the outpost phase and bring back the resources from the loot cards. So you can loot this and then die and leave, or you replay the scenario immediately. So I don't want to do that. So let's rock and roll. We're gonna draw cards, and you can see I wanted to go early with all my characters, and every single one of them is gonna get to go first. So let's go in and the name of the game here is to kill large quantities. So we're gonna start with the banner spear, and I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the banner of hope. It's still summoned somewhere, but it's no more. So we got that out of the way. As you know, I went with going early, and I'm going to move 4 spaces. Well, this is just 1 movement point to get to here. That is 2, and then this is 3, and then this is 4. And so I'm already up next to 2 people, and I don't have wind, but I am going to do a 2 damage attack, and then of course I have everybody has disadvantage that attacks me this round, and I'm going to attack number 5 here, and we're going to do it. Oh, there's that curse. The curse card just bit me in the butt. Okay, well, I did no damage, but I am there, so I am going to steal the focus from both of those guys. So they're not going to hit the thing in the middle anymore. They're going to hit me. Alright, so that's the goal. Next up is the Bone Shaper. So we have this skeleton, which is going to move 1. It's going to move 1 and then 2 and take 2 damage. Now, technically speaking, skeletons would avoid doing that unless that was the only thing that they could do. So they would choose movement that goes the longest way possible. I'm just thinking this through, because that would kill the skeleton. So what would they do? Would they choose a different focus? I'm going to say the answer is no. They would just, this one would just move 1, 2 like that. And then this one, of course, would attack. So let's go ahead and draw for that. We got a +1. So that's 3 damage. He has 1 shield. And number 4 here. 3 damage, 1 shield. He's dead. Excellent. So we got him. Alright, number 4 goes down. Loot comes out. And this guy still would have moved like he did because he used a lower number. But then the Wraith would not move towards that. It would choose a different focus. And I'm thinking the shortest path is through this door, so it would move 1, 2, like so. It has a 3 range attack, and so this would be 1, 2, 3. It's not quite in range, so it doesn't actually hit anything. Alright, so Bone Shaper then plays her cards, and she is going to do a move 2. So we're going to move her 2 and take this loot. So we're still going to try to maximize as much as we can here, even though we got a little bit of a crisis. And the loot that is drawn is a lumber. Done. And then we get to move one of our creatures too. So I'm going to move this one, 1, and then 2. So it's now in in the room. Okay, and then I'm going to summon a skeleton, which will cause me to lose 2 more health. Gonna gain an experience point. And let me find the skeleton. And I'm gonna place that guy right here. Nope, because that would make him go under the ice. We're gonna put him here. Okay, her turn's over. Next up is Blinkblade. Oh, where's the Drifter? Oh, okay, some of the enemy's gonna go before the Drifter. Blinkblade's next. So we're gonna do the move 4. And I'm gonna go 1, 2, like so. And then I can spend a time to push 3 people. The problem is if I push him, he just hits somebody else and doesn't go anywhere. Same with him. There's like no point in pushing. I guess technically speaking, a push could go this way. That would work. So by doing that push, I would be doing 2 damage to this guy. I'm okay with this, because I think their focus is now on me, so they're not going to attack the orb. So I don't care where they go. But I am going to do 1 damage to both of these guys, because this automatically causes them to suffer 1 damage. So I'm going to go ahead... Oh no, they target multiple enemies. Oh, you know what? I don't even have the time token, so I can't even do the choice even if I wanted. The extra time token I was supposed to get because I was going to long rest, and I short rested. Alright, so number 2 and number 5 both take 1 damage, and they're both down to 4 health each. So then we're going to go ahead and do this, and we're going to gain an experience point, and that's going to be for 3 damage. And Blinkblade gains an experience point. And we're going to do 3 damage. I'm going to attack number 5 first. Whoops, sorry, my arm. Here we go. That is now 4 damage. He does have a shield. So number 5 does have a shield. And so he takes 3 damage and he's down to 1 health. Oh, come on. And then the other one, also 4 damage and also down to 1 health. Dang it. I needed to do 1 more to kill both of those. Alright, so I at least stole away their focus, which is good, but there's still plenty of other enemies that are going to be focusing on that, and not good. Alright, so Blinkblade's turn is over. Next up is the Snow Imp. The Snow Imp is just going to heal, so we don't have to worry about that one attacking. The problem is they're going to heal... they're going to move 3 spaces as if it was melee, so they're going to move here to melee him. And then looking at these heal, 5 and 2 both need to be healed. 5 is closest. 2 is lower in initiative, so I guess it would heal 2. So we're going to do, it's a 2 heal to number 2. So he's back up to 3 health, this guy. This one here would move like it's doing melee, so it's going to go there. And again, he'll heal number 2, and he's back up to full health. Alright, so that was the imps, and then the living bones go, and they do target 2 targets. So we're going to start with number 2 here. It's going to target the orb and me, and that's the part that's the problem. And it's going to do 2 damage with each one. So let's target the orb first. 2 damage to the orb, and then 2 damage to Blinkblade. So Blinkblade goes to 3. And the orb goes to 6. Oh no, it has brittle. I have to burn a card. I'm going to prevent 4 damage. So who's going to burn the card is the question. I'm going to burn this card for the Banner Blade. Banner Spear. prevent the damage. Okay, and then number 3 here is same deal. 2 on banner and 2 on this. So we're going to do the middle orb first. Missed. Perfect. Me. 1 damage. So banner takes 1 damage. And then number 5 there is actually going to go after banner and blink and not the one in the middle. So number 5, banner, 3 damage, blink, 2. Ah, never mind. Banner had disadvantage. So that one was the middle, and then that was the banner. Then this is also the banner. Alright, so the banner would have been 2 damage, and then this is blink for 2. Alright, sorry. Banner played a card that everybody has disadvantage against him. So blink is down to 1 health. Ah. Alright, but it's what we had to do. We had to get into the fray. The worst is over. We do have the boss and stuff still, but Drifter gets to go now. After the Living Bones, but Drifter is way the bloody over here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a move 2, and then if the character, we get to move one of our things backwards 1. So we're going to move 2, which we're going to do this to move 4, and this is ice, so I guess we only bump there, so 1, 2, I could go 3, 4, and attack him, or I could just stay here and attack this one. It's a good call, but 5 is low on health, so I'm going to attack 5. And then here I have a 1 damage attack, which turns into a 3 damage attack, and then I'm going to loot, because he's going to drop something. So we'll do the 1 damage attack, and we do hit. It's actually a 3, and then as we discussed, number 5 here only had 1 health, so he dies, and I'm not even going to bother getting the loot token, because we loot it right away, and the loot is 2 coins. So 1 down. Okay, so Drifter is done. Drifter's going to have to short rest or something next turn. And so now we got to deal with what's left. We got the Frozen Corpse, and both of them, as you can see here, they don't move. If they had fire, they would move 2, but then they suffer 2 damage, and they're going to do a 3 damage attack, each of them, against the orb, which is going to kill us. So here's the first attack, second attack, and I'm going to block both. And I'm going to have to get rid of a Blink Blade card. I'm going to get rid of this one. That's going to block 1. And then we're going to get rid of a get rid of the tip of the spear to block the other. I am down very low on cards with the banner. I had to. Those were brutal attacks. And then we're not done, because now Reinhardt is going to move and do a attack 4 range and put ice on the board. So ice comes back on the board. Reinhardt's way back here. Yeah, it's going to attack for 3 damage. 2 damage. I will go ahead and take the 2 damage with the anchor. That ends the round. Alright. So yeah, I couldn't just say, hey, you know, I screwed up. That would have actually given me a huge advantage, because now you can see the urgency. that's going on. So remember, we're in burn card mode. So what do? I want to grant an ally 5 attack. Or I want to grant somebody else an attack. And then I want to heal myself. Or I can heal an ally, but I'm too far away to heal an ally. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 4 and then just give an extra attack to one of my minions. Alright, so that's her. The Banner Spear only has 3 cards left because I've been burning so many. I can heal the center orb and even give it regeneration. I don't think I can afford to do that though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pincer because we need to kill one of these guys. And oh, by the way, I've been taking hits. So this guy would have gone backwards. Let's see here. This one would not have moved. This one would have moved to there. So that means some of them may not have attacked him because they would have tried to attack the orb and him. So we may not have taken as many attacks, actually. That actually was a case where since I forgot to move them, I made myself suffer more. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play both of these cards. I'm going to play the... See, here's the thing. I need to do 5 damage to something because killing them is what wins this scenario. But I also need to heal either Blink Blade or the center orb. And I need to do both. Healing the orb, 2 health is not going to be all that much. So I think I am going to play these 2 cards, and we're going to go on a 32. And I got to quit remembering or forgetting that they get pushed. Okay, so then we go to Blink Blade, who has to go slow. We're going to heal, have to heal everybody around him. So that one has to be the one action. And I think I'm going to do a 3-2-3 and burn as the other. So that's a 49. The Bone Shaper is 43. And then I have to short rest with the Drifter. I'm actually on the verge of losing my my token for attacks. So I need to move that token backwards. So this is the one that's burning. I'm okay with that. So what are we going to do? I need to move a token backwards. So I'm going to play this one for sure. And then for the top, I mean, I do have a heal. I'm going to hold on to that. I think this would be a good top one because then I'm not, I mean, I guess I am burning my token if I do that. Here we go. I can do this one. It's a 5 damage attack and it'll move a token backwards. So we will do that. So unfortunately though, it's a really high number. It's 65. So it means these enemies are going to probably get to go first. So here we go. We're going to draw our cards. And then first up is the Living Bones. So they are going to do damage and heal themselves. So that's not good. Alright, let's go. They are going to move 1 space, do 1 damage against 2 targets, and then heal themselves 2. So we're going to start with number 3. The target is the middle, so he's going to move 1 space so he can hit both. Alright, so we're going to open this up and we're going to target the middle. So it's 2 damage to the middle and then no damage to the Drifter. So the Drifter, or the middle, is now down to 4. And then number 3 heals himself, which I don't think number 3 has any damage. And these guys suck. They really do. Next one, the focus is the middle. He could go forward and hit 2 of us, but that's not his focus. So he's just going to attack the middle. for 1 damage. Down to 3. Alright, his turn's over. Next up is the frozen corpse. There is no... All it's going to do is try to immobilize and all this other stuff. So no damage to the middle. Yay! Alright, Banner Spear is up. Alright, we can do a pincer or a combined effort. Pincer is not possible, but if I move 2, I can move an ally 2. Then it is possible. I gotta think this through. So, if I move 1 space this way, I'm gonna slide on the ice all the way to here. So I can't stop behind this guy, no matter what I try to do. If I let somebody else move 2, I can get them to slide behind me, but that doesn't help me to do an attack of any kind. These frost imps are easy to kill, much easier than the other stuff, so maybe it's nice to get them out of the way, and they haven't gone yet this round. These 2 have, so there's an argument of, okay, let's not focus on them as much. But I can't get behind the frost imp either. If I move 2 this way, I can get here. But I'm still not pincering anybody. That's my issue. I don't know how to pincer someone with the movement that is given to me. So what I can do instead is move 1 space and then just attack with a basic attack. And that hurts because the pincer is a 5 damage attack. I really wanted to do a 5 damage attack. So... And like this one here, it's 2 movement points just to get to there, and then I'm done. I can't get to the other side. Yeah, I'm in a pickle. I would love to do a 5 damage attack. How can I do it? And the answer is I can't. If I was able to move the enemy before me, I could pull it off. Or I'm sorry, my ally. But I can't move my ally. And it does let me move 2 allies. It's not just 1 ally I get to move, it's 2. So if I did somehow move here, yeah, I can do this. So then I get to move an ally that's within 2 spaces. So I'm going to move this one space, and he stops there. And then, dang it, the other, no, I'm going to move this one 2, and then he stops there. And then this one would move 1, 2, and stop out here, because that ice, dang it, it doesn't quite work. If I move him 1 and then 2, he slides all the way to the end. But if I move this one, he's going to go 1 and then 2 and then stop, and I still don't have a pincer. It doesn't quite work. Now if I move him all the way to here, like that, the problem I have is nobody's within 2, and so they don't get to move. Let's say I move 1 to there. That doesn't help either. I'm gonna pause. All right, so I've been going through many possibilities, and the answer is I can't use either of these patterns. I can't create a pincer, and I can't even create a combined effort, because in this case I can only move 1 space and I don't get to move any enemies. So, of course, I can do a combined effort if I was here, but if I move here, I slide all the way to there. So the combined effort's just not possible. I could do a combined effort if I was here, but I need 2 movement. And, you know what? Never mind. I just realized I could just use the basic movement. So I don't know why I was smoking pot there. Here, 1, 2 for basic movement. And then I'm going to do combined effort, and we're going to attack number 3 here. So let's do that, and that gets me an experience point. And we're going to wound him, plus do 3 damage to number 3. And let's draw our card. And I drew a plus 2. So we just did 5 damage to number 3, and he's going to be wounded. He does have a shield. I think he's full health. Where's number 3? Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's wounded, which means he's as good as dead. As soon as his turn turns on, he's going to die. Alright. Next is the Bone Shaper. And I forgot to summon her skeleton. So let me get that on the board. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we got the skeletons on the board. This one has a number 1, so technically this goes first. So, what's interesting is that's not how they were summoned, but yeah, that's just how it goes. So it's going to move 1 and then 2 and stop sliding. This one will move 1 and then attack. And then this one's going to move 1 and then stop. This one will move 1. This would hit the ice. But I could just as easily do 1, 2. I don't know if it would hit the ice, because since there's a character on the space, do you still slide through the space if there's a character on it? I don't think so. So I'm going to do 1, 2. That is an interesting question, because that would kill the Wraith. No, the Wraith is flying, so that thing can't hit the Wraith. So even if it went 1, 2, it's flying, so this spike thing doesn't hurt him. Alright, sorry about that. Just going through the machinations. I still don't think it would have flown over it, but it is what it is. So number 2 is going to attack the Imp. So let's draw his card. There we go. We got a plus 1, so that's 3 damage to the Imp. And it's Imp number 8. One, 2, 3. And then the Wraith is going to try to do 1 damage to Imp number 8. And it does a plus 1. So Imp number 8 is dead. Excellent. That's what we need to see. We want some bodies hitting the floor here. I got all these summons out, so they need to start doing some damage. So now we could do our 2 cards. And I want to grant an ally a 5 damage attack. So I'm going to burn that card, and we're going to do a Whopper against somebody. And I'm going to have the Bannon Blade try to attack that Imp. I want to kill that Imp. And so I drew a -1, but the good news is it only has 4 health. So both of these Imps are gone. So we can stop worrying about those guys. They're not the big damage dealers, but they are still annoying. And they're the ones that are going to probably put brittle on things. And then on the top side, I'm going to curse the enemy. And, oh no, they're not near anybody. They don't get movement with that. This doesn't give anybody movement. They have to attack right where they stand. So I'm not going to lose the card. It's not worth it. I mean, the Wraith can attack him for 1 damage. How's he doing for health? He's 1 health away, but he's going to die anyways. Yeah, I'm not burning a card for that. So I'm just going to do a basic attack action and basically do nothing. So her turn's over. Next up is the Snow Imps. They are done. Now Blinkblade, who has 1 health, is going to play this to heal himself for 2, and everybody else around him for 2. So he heals for 2, and then the Banner Spear gets 2, and Drifter, wherever he is, will get 2. Okay. So then we're going to lose this first attack because he's not next to anybody. I get to move 2 spaces. So I'm going to move 1, 2. And then we're going to do a 2 damage attack on number 2 here. And that is a burn card. So it is gone. And making sure I don't have any doublers. Nope. So 2 damage attack against number 2. He's at full health, so he's down to 3. And I know it wasn't very exciting, but he just healed 3 people. And we do get a loot out of the deal. That gives us a coin. I'm still in a precarious position, but we did get a lot done. We killed at least 2 of the enemies, and now Reinhardt goes, and you can see Reinhardt makes himself invisible, and he's going to consume the ice to make himself strong and blessed. So the blessed just means we're going to add a blessed token to their deck, and then Reinhardt himself is going to be strong, which means he has advantage. And we can't target him. But the good news is he didn't target the middle. Alright, and then last but not least is the Drifter. Now the Drifter, we're going to do this move too, and then we get to move one of our things backwards. So here's the state of our union. The move is going to cause this to happen, so the Drifter is going to get an experience point, but you can see we have 2 tokens that are both ready to cause him to lose his card. The one I'm going to move backward is the attack. And we are going to move 2 spaces. Now we just got to figure out what 2 are we going to do. So I'm going to move 1 and then 2 right along the ice, so I'm next to this corpse guy. It's the only thing that really works. And then, like I said, I'm moving the attack one back, and then I'm going to do a 5 damage attack, so I get another experience point for that. And then if I killed somebody, I'd get to move one of them backwards. I'm not going to get to kill someone, but let's do 5 damage, unless I draw a doubler. And I didn't draw a doubler, I drew a -1. But we're finally started making short work on those corpses. And the one I attacked is number 2. He has a shield, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 damage on him. And the good news is that corpse will target me. And that's the thing, is I got to get in there and get next to those corpses so they stop targeting the middle. And then we just have the Reinhardt or whatever to worry about. And unfortunately, I was not able to move anything backwards. So yeah, I got tokens that are on the edge still. Those cards that let me move the token back, 2 tokens back 1 spot, it looks like one of them is played, and the other one must be burned. Yep, the other one was burned. Alright, so never happened to me before, but it's happening here. Okay, we're at the end of the round, and here we go. Bone Shaper is down to 1 card. So she's short resting again. She's to the point of going unconscious. I mean, I could start killing skeletons, I guess, but here we go. This is the card I'm going to lose. I don't like losing that one. Actually, I lost that one because I granted that should not be in the pile. Sorry. I got even less cards. There's the one I'm going to lose. So actually, I'm going to long rest with her. I can't afford to short rest. I got a long rest. Sorry, folks. Definitely got a long rest. She only has one more turn left before she's unconscious. Now, if some of these skeletons die, she gets those cards back. You know, all that stuff happens. Excuse me. I don't want to start canceling them. Alright, the Banner Spear is in the same boat. Only one card left. I can short rest. I only have 4 cards left. I am in trouble, folks. Absolute trouble. I'm going to go unconscious. That's the card I would lose. That's the healing card that would heal the middle. Yeah, I guess I'm losing it. So now I got 1 turn left. No. I can't do that. I just got a long rest. I'm sorry. Oh, I have 1 more card in my discard. So that does help. That helps a little, but I got a long rest. Okay, Blinkblade does have a turn left. He has a fast token if we need to use it. We got the enemy suffering 1 damage thing. And we also have the attack without moving thing. I like that option. But I really need to just get into their business and attack them so they attack Blinkblade instead of him. So I'm going to, like, this would be a 2 movement. Blinkblade's at 3 health. This one, if he does the bottom, the card burns. I don't want to burn the card. I want to do this top one, and I want to go fast. So we're going to do both of these at 17. Done. And then the Drifter, he just short rested last round, so he's got all of his cards. Alright, so we have 5 cards, and he's going to use his Stamina Potion. Lets him pull 1 from the discard pile. And so we're going to pull this one. That lets him do a 5 damage attack again. So we're going to play that card, and then we're going to play like the 14, which is a heal 2, and we're not going to move, we're just going to heal the middle. And that'll be his play, and that's a good play. So 14 for him. Alright, that brings us to draw cards. And Drifter is going to go first, then Blinkblade, and then boom, the enemy hour. Okay, so Drifter will go first. He is not moving, so he's not going to lose his move token. He's going to heal the middle for 2. So excellent use of the card. The middle gets some much needed relief. Goes back up to 5 health. Then he's going to do this along with that token. And yes, I am going to lose the token. The card is now burned. And so I lost that, but it's going to be a 5 damage attack. And we're going to try to hit that floating corpse again, or whatever it's called. And anger. Just anger settles in. That was a 5 damage attack, folks. I would have killed the thing. But, you know, there was times I've been super lucky, and this isn't it. If I would have killed it, I would have been able to move one of my tokens backwards. So none of that happened. Alright, his turn's over. Next up is Blinkblade. So Blinkblade is going to move 5 spaces. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and be next to all 3 of these. So none of them are going to focus the middle. And then he's going to do a 4 damage attack. And if he doesn't have poison, he can gain poison to add a target. And he's going to do that. So we're going to poison Blinkblade. And he's going to do a 4 damage attack on 2 targets. He can't attack the boss because he's invisible, if you remember. But he's going to attack both of these corpses. And the corpses are not elite, so they don't have, retaliate. But they do have 1 shield, and 1 is full health. So here's the deck. I am going to attack the first one, which is lower in health. And here we go. +1. Excellent. So that's a kill. This guy just died. Loot token comes out. This one here is full health at 7. Now I need to check. I have the ability to poison somebody with my poison dagger. I want to see if this boss Reinhardt can be poisoned. Reinhardt is immune to disarm and stun. He's not immune to poison. So we could poison Reinhardt. So do I want to use my poison on this guy or save it for Reinhardt? I technically want to save it for Reinhardt. So I'm going to use my spyglass though on this guy because a 4 damage attack is a good attack. And gosh darn it, what a good call that was. Here's the other one. So 4 damage on... Actually just 3 damage. So that frozen corpse still has 4 health. And I need to shuffle because he just drew the blank. Alright, I like what I did. I think Blinkblade is in trouble. He only has 1 card in his hand, so if he takes too much damage, he's going to have to burn some cards. And everybody is on the verge of passing out. Everybody. I am in trouble. But I think that's the whole goal of this mission, is these bosses are sneaky like that. Alright. So, first up, living corpses go. This one dies. So I'm going to kill him. And that was number 3. He's out. Loot drops. Number 2 is going to target 2 people. And for 0 damage. So we're going to go after the middle first. So 1 damage to the middle, and then to Banner Spear, no damage. So even when I'm thinking it's looking good, the middle still takes hits. Alright, so, but he's done. Next is the Frozen Corpse, and he's doing this ranged doohickey. But the ranged doohickey is going to go against him, so it's going to go that way. And it's a 1 damage attack against Blinkblade, who is poisoned, so it becomes a 2 damage attack. And my shield is already exhausted. So it's a 2 damage attack on Blinkblade. Blinkblade is down to 1 health. He is near dead. I thought... Nope, I didn't play a heal. That's why. Okay, Blinkblade's in trouble. And then we're going to move on to Reinhardt, who's coming out of... Oh, Reinhardt's going to just heal herself. He's not damaged. Wants to move 4 spaces and do a normal range attack. Well, that's simple. Reinhardt's just going to move 1 space away and attack Blinkblade, who Reinhardt was next to, for 3 damage. So I'm going to probably have to burn a card. Yep, I'm going to have to burn a card. So this card is now officially burned for Blinkblade. Okay, turn is over. Ice is back on the board. Now the skeletons, the summons go. And because I'm going to be resting here. So we're going to start with this one. His focus would be here. So he would move 1 space to there and do a attack on number 2. So it's a 2 damage attack. Number 2 has 1 shield. And number 2 has 3 total health, so he's down to 2 health now. Next up, well, actually this one would have moved first. So this would have been, so here's the thing, does he slide through because he's standing on the ice? Oh, that's not ice. So that would be 1, 2, and then 1, And then the Wraith would go. And the Wraith has a range of 3, so it just needs to move 1 space, and now it can target that one. So it's a 1 damage attack, so unless it's a plus something, which it isn't, the Wraith didn't do any damage to him at all. Okay. And then the Bone Shaper gains 2 health, refreshes her items. She's ready to go. The Banner Spear is going to gain 2 health, refresh her items. I do have to burn a card. I am going to burn... I'm going to burn this one. It's nice, but it doesn't really do... I mean, it does say that if an enemy moves adjacent to me, I'm going to suffer 2. Oh, and by the way, this guy got pushed because he got attacked. Pushed because he was attacked. The Drifter wasn't attacked. That is actually a decent card if I think somebody's going to come after me. But they're not. They're just going to target the middle. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one. Alright, and then for the Bone Shaper... we're going to get rid of this one. Bone Shaper's in trouble. She has 1 more turn and then she collapses. But if the skeletons were to die, she gets those cards back. So I think we just got to get the skeletons into the mix. Okay, end of round. The Snow Imps are gone, so I'm going to remove them. Everybody else, they're still present. So we're going to... these are the only 2 cards she has. We're going to go early. 18. We got to get our guys in there and get them attacked, because she needs her cards back before the next round. And just so you know, I can always kill my skeleton to take this card back. You can always pull back a summon. I just don't want to. I want it to serve its purpose. But anyways, we got an 18. Banner Spear is in just as bad of a shape. It'd be nice to do a pincer. I just don't know if I can get on the other side of someone. I probably should have discarded that. I just held on to it because it's a 5 damage. I think this is the better one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this one will grant 2 allies movement, but not me. Unless I just do basic move. I'm going to go ahead and just do a basic move. No, I want to go before the summons. So I need to put that 15 in for the basic move, and then we'll do that. There we go. There we go. So 15 for the Banner Spear. Blink Blade. I am going to long rest. He's got 5 cards. You know what? Nope. We gotta go for broke. Blink Blade has to go slow if I don't long rest. If I did long rest, I would have all kinds of awesome things to do, but I don't. So we're gonna burn this one. I don't like it, but we're gonna burn that one. And then I can't go fast, so I don't want to play that card. The healing would be nice, because Blink Blade's down to 1 health. He is next to somebody right now. He is poisoned. So the healing would remove the poison. So yeah, he would muddle himself, or we could just do this one, which is just a 2 damage attack. Yeah, we'll do that. And he's going to be a 75. And then Drifter has 4 cards left. Doesn't need to go anywhere. He's right next to the boss. We just need to pummel the boss. I got 2 burn cards here, but I'm not going to be able to add +2 anymore to my attacks. But I'm going to go ahead and do it because we need to win. 27. And we're running out of turns. Okay. Draw cards. And you can see the Reinhardt's actually going first. He's going to heal himself, and then he's going to shield 2. And you can see there was ice. The good news is he doesn't attack anybody, and his strength, by the way, is long gone. He never attacked anybody. Alright, Banner Spear, first. We are going to use a basic movement to move 1 space forward, and then we're going to do this attack because the skeleton's next to me, and I'm going to do a 3 damage and a wound and gain an experience against that skeleton. So let's get an experience point added. Let's draw our card. And we drew a +0. So that's 3 damage on him, and then he's wounded. So hopefully, with the wound, that should be enough to kill him. Nope. Well, 3 damage is enough to kill him, because he has 1 shield. So he's dead. And then we're going to go ahead and just remove the whole thing. So we got another one down. And the good news about that one is since it had a shield, all the summons were wasting their attacks on it. But they're going to waste their attacks on the other one too. Alright, her turn's over. Going back up. Now the summons go. So we're going to start with number 1. Number 1 is here. Gets to move 2 spaces. So this would be 1, and then he would stop because the other skeleton is blocked by the ice. And then this one would be 2, and again stopped because of the drifter. Number 2 would move forward 1 space and attack him, and he does have a shield, so we have to worry about that. We drew a +0, and that's going to be 1 damage to him. Boy, I have a lot of cards drawn from that deck, so something big's coming soon. So 1 damage to the frozen corpse puts him down to 3 health. Number 3, this is a 1 and a 2, and then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it moves 1 space, it gets to attack either. The boss was actually lower in initiative, so it's going to attack the boss for 1, and then 1 more for 2. So the boss has a shield 2 and takes no damage. Now that part is the part that stinks. Next. Oh, the Bone Shaper cards. So Bone Shaper, this is basically one of the last actions she gets to do. We do have a burn here. I don't know if I want to do the burn, because only 2 of my summons can actually attack. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a move 4. And I know that doesn't sound exciting, but that at least lets me grab another loot. So I will do that. There's no need to get my character up in everyone's business. That gave me a coin. So we gained a coin. It's technically not that type of coin, it's that type of coin. Alright, and then since I did that, I don't have to burn the card. I'm going to do an X+1 self, where I have 1, 2, 3, 4 summons, so I'm going to heal myself for 5. Maybe I should have just attacked with my summons. I mean, I do get to do 2 attacks. I just don't think they're going to do any damage. I would have gotten to put 2 curses in their deck, I guess. But 5 health is a lot. And yeah, I'm going to have to disassemble my summons before the next round. I'm back up to 6. And maybe instead of grabbing the loot, I should have moved 4 into the room so I can start doing basic attacks since my summons are going to be going away. But that's not what I did. Okay, Drifter. Drifter is going Boss City. Drifter can do 4 movement and do a 3 damage range attack. So that, I just said I was going to go Boss City, but I'm actually going to go after this guy, so that way I don't have disadvantage. So here's the Drifter deck. That's 3 damage against the Frozen Corpse, and he has 1 shield, so he goes down to 1 health. That guy sucks. He's going to get to take his turn. Then I'm going to go after the boss. I'm going to do a 2 damage attack and poison the boss. So that becomes a 3 damage attack, which is good because the boss has 2 shields. So I'm going to do 1 damage to the boss, and now it's poisoned. And now this is a 3 damage attack with wound. And it becomes a 4 damage attack. Remember, the poison's adding 1. So we're going to wound him, and he's going to take 2. So he's down to 16. That's something. We need him to attack the Drifter. The Drifter has Retaliate. Okay, moving down, the Frozen Corpse goes. And you can see here he's going to attack somebody for 1 damage and put Brittle in them. It's going to be the Skeleton, number 2 here. So let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, he's going to do 1 damage to Skeleton number 2, which this gets really confusing because it's not the one with number 2, it's the one with number 1. I know, it's just the numbers on these don't match. It's really horrible. So that's 1 health gone. And then it has Brittle. Okay, his turn's over. Then Blinkblade goes with 1 health. So we were going to heal himself for 2. And then do a 2 damage attack against this guy, which right there kills him. So all we have left is the boss. The boss and a few more turns. And a whole bunch of loot tokens, as you can see. Alright, I can breathe a little, but that boss still has a lot of health. Okay, we gotta start talking State of the Union. The Bone Shaper has 2 cards in the discard pile, no cards in the hand. So what I can do is, for example, Skeleton number... The Wraith is only doing 1 damage attacks. Well, I can't... Excuse me, there's no pulling back the Wraith. Skeleton number 2 and 3, which are these 2, the first ones I summoned. This is Skeleton number 1. I can pull those back, and then whenever I do a rest, I'm going to have 4 cards. Obviously, I'm going to have to burn 1, and I'd have 3 cards left. 3 cards doesn't do me any good unless I pull them all back. So what I could do instead is just pull 1 of them back, and then I'm going to pull Skeleton 3 back, because he's way in the back, he's not near any enemy, so it'll take him a few turns just to get there. So then whenever I rest, I'm going to burn 1 card and still have a turn left. Okay, but I'm going to long rest because the skeletons, I understand, they need to get up in his business, but they're still going to move and attack even with me long resting. There's no point in rushing this. By long resting, I'm going to get 2 more rounds of actions in. That's 2 more rounds of my skeletons being able to attack. If I short rest, there's only 1 more round of my skeletons being able to attack. So you got to be strategic here. This is where the long resting pays off. And if you were long resting the whole game, you would have been in better shape. Now, I was burning a lot of cards to save that middle orb. I would not be in this bad of a shape if I wasn't burning cards like that. So now here's the Banner Spear. Same deal. These are the only 2 cards she has left for her turn, so she has to play them. So she'll play those for 25. She's going to be done very soon. Next is Blink Blade. Has only 2 cards left. Am I going fast or slow? I can cause the boss to just take 1 damage by going next to him. And then I can do a 4 damage attack against the boss. Oh, and then I forgot to heal Blink Blade. Blink Blade was supposed to be healed 2, and then the poison's gone. No, I thought in Gloomhaven that when you were poisoned, a heal just removed the poison and didn't actually heal you. Remove when healed. Yeah, let me look that up, because in the old days, poison was nasty. Let me check. I nailed it. All the other ones, you heal and remove the condition, but with poison, you only remove the poison. That's all you do. So he still sits at 1 health. Alright, so if I'm going to go fast, I can cause him to suffer 1 damage, and then I can do a 4 damage attack against him. I guess that's something. Or I could go slow, move 3 spaces, move 2 spaces, move 1 space, attack. I can't attack anything after moving just 1 space. That's the problem. I could try to push him. He's flying, so even if I push him on the shards, he doesn't take damage because he's flying. So this whole push thing is not as attractive. My thoughts are okay, if I burn this card, I can heal and move. The problem is if I burn cards, this is the last turn he takes for the game. He's going unconscious soon. There is a treasure chest here. One of us needs to go over and grab it. So we gotta figure something out. He will get 1 more turn. Alright, I'm going to just go up and make him suffer 1 damage. That is good. It pierces any shields or anything he has. And then I'm going to do a 4 damage attack. And we're going to go fast. So we're going to go 17, use up our token, and then we'll figure out the rest later. Okay, the Drifter has just 2 cards left. I'm not even going to pay attention to them. One of them is a 23, so we'll go at 23. And that's it. Let's fight. All we got left is the frozen corpse is removed. He's dead, so let's remove that. All we got left is Reinhardt. So we're going to draw, and Reinhardt is going to go invisible. So we got to get 3 attacks in before he goes invisible. There are no elements on the board, so he's not going to get to do any of that other nonsense. So Blink Blade goes first. And so he's going to move up, and all enemies adjacent to him suffers 1 damage. So Reinhardt is going to drop to 15 health. And if I turn this a little bit, you can see Reinhardt right here. Next, we're going to do a 4 damage attack. I don't need to poison myself to add a target. And here's the card. So +0. So Reinhardt just took 4 more damage. 5 more damage because he's poisoned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Way to go, Idaho. Alright. Next up is the Drifter. I know you can't see it on your camera. Drifter is right there. And so Drifter is right next to Reinhardt. And here's the 2 cards we have. These are both range attacks. This one moves something behind. I don't care about moving stuff behind anymore. So I'm going to just go ahead and we're going to just do a base melee plus 2, just 2 damage. And then the bottom, I'm not even going to do. So we're just going to discard, because I don't need to. Well, you know what? I am going to move. Why would I not? Yeah, I'm going to move. So I'm going to attack first. And there it is, a doubler. But it was only a 2 damage attack, but it became 3 because of the poison. So that became 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was excellent. And yeah, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, and we're going to grab that loot. Haha! There we go. What do they always say? Huzzah! Okay. The loot. Let's look at the... It is loot 39. Engine, number 9. Going down Chicago line. 39 is... Unlock a random side scenario. I don't even know how that works. What does it mean to unlock a random side scenario? Let me pause. I'm going to look into that. Okay, a couple of things. I got all my answers, and I just want to clarify. I knew what a random scenario meant. I just didn't know how do I select it. Like, am I supposed to get dice? But there's some cards that were buried in my box that I totally forgot about. These ones, and I just have to pick one of these. So they all just have numbers on them. They have no rhyme or reason on which one's better. I wouldn't even know. But these are all random. And then if I ever unlock all of these, because once I unlock one of them, it's out of the game. And so you need like a little baggie where you just keep your out of the game components. But if I ever unlock all of them and I have to unlock another, I would just gain an inspiration, which is cool. Inspiration is not bad. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock that one. But before we look at it, so that card, I'm just going to sit in my... I have like a whole pile of cards here inside of my desk. I have a pull-out desk on this table. And so all those cards are in there. Okay, I just realized something quite major. I mean, it's not major in terms of like it's going to change everything, but it could have changed how we started this scenario. Before we started the scenario, we were supposed to do a road event. So I'm going to grab one of those. And then the last thing is I have these things called challenge cards. There's a whole bunch of them, and I have no clue what they do. And then, of course, I went online to look, and apparently you unlock these. These are something that are not supposed to technically be in the game. I find it silly. We have envelopes for everything. Why aren't these in envelopes? These are available for me to look at. Like I can see. Boom, 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 boom. Armor testing. I don't get it, but or at least for the rulebook to say, hey, yep, we know you have this, but don't look at them yet. And then, of course, I tried to look online, and everybody's jerks. They're like, zipping my lip, all this other stuff. And it's just like, I mean, I know I make my channel all about spoiling everything, but if somebody is asking, tell them. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Humanity needs to burn sometimes. And that's all I have to say about that. Alright, so let's do the road event, which should have been done a long time ago. Here we go. Oh, you know what? The road event we have narration for. Let's do it. I paid for it. I might as well use it, right? Summer road events. 04. Yeah, because we did the outpost.
Just outside Frosthaven, right where the road begins to become less traveled, you find a man in dusty white vestments. A few burnt down candles are on the ground next to him, dripping wax onto the rocks. The young priest holds out a bowl for offerings.
Would you like to make a donation? I would be happy me to extend the blessings of the Great Oak to you as protection on your journey.
Yeah, I ruined my...
He sees
I
your
should have.
trepidation
This is going to
in
give us a
turning over
blessing.
hard-earned gold.
The sanctuary sent me here to set up a shrine, but unfortunately I was set upon by robbers. I just need a bit of time to earn back the funds, that's all. And my blessings are nearly as good as the ones you'd find elsewhere.
Option A. Make an offering at the improvised shrine. Option B. It's clear this is an easy mark. Steal from the offering plate.
Okay, so we could have stole gold, or make an offering, and very likely get a blessing. And the blessing would have helped us in this scenario, because we would have had a blessing shuffled into all of our decks. So that's my fault for being a dummy and forgetting to draw the road card. I am going to play it the way I would have played it, and I would have gone for the blessing. So, because we have gold. So we have to lose 5 gold. Here, hold on. I'm going to hit option A. So we're going to make an offering, and we can choose to lose 5 gold. So we're going to lose 5, and I'm just going to look at everybody's sheets to see how much they have. So Black Sonia, the Banner Spear, literally has 0 gold. The Bone Shaper has 6. The Drifter has 21. And Rapture has 12. So I'm going to at least get 3 of them to have blessings. So the Bone Shaper will give 2. Blink Blade will give 1. And the Drifter will give 2. And if I could with the Banner Spear, I would, but she has 0. So I need to find the pen and fix this. So 2, so that means she has 4 left. And then the Drifter was going to be 2, and Blink Blade's going to be 1. Alright, done. So he actually gets 3 back. Change. And he also gets 3 back and change. Alright. I am going to lose the 5 gold. All characters who donated gain bless. Check 1 box below for each character who donated. The first time all 6 boxes have been checked, gain 1 prosperity. So, this is going to get shuffled back into the deck. And then I have to check the boxes on here. Boy, they made it so replayability is going to be hard. It's actually going to be tough to write on these cards. They have a laminate side on them, and my pen does not do very well. But I will try. Or I guess what I'll do is I'm actually going to take the scenario sheet, the campaign sheet, and we're going to just write it on the back. Now, that does mean I have to remember that I did this, but we're going to go ahead and we'll write the road number, which is SR04. SR04. That SR stands for summer. And our summer road is what the SR stands for. And we have 1, 2, 3 checkboxes. So, as you can see, there's 6 total that's needed. And then we would gain a prosperity, which I think is super cool. So that part is good. The part that stinks is I ruined my chance to get a bless for the scenario. Alright, so I'm just reshuffling the road events because it gets shuffled back in. And I should sleeve these. They definitely don't like side shuffle. Alright, road events. Done. I gotta remember I wrote that on the back, but that's better than trying to write on the card. Okay, and then the random scenario. We unlocked 171.2. Now this card is out of the game. And I can do that, and so 171.2 I don't even know, like, is that the scenario book? Yeah, it is actually. I'm not going to do the narration on this one. It's very short. You look down at the ancient sheet of stone, hardly the riches and jewels you were expecting, but there in the stone, faded yet still complete, is painting a landscape as if it's used the tip of a stick or a claw. Despite the crudeness, the details look familiar to you. You could probably find the place this painting depicts if you search long enough. So the lustrous pit is 108 is unlocked. So before you forget, you have to get out your little advent calendars, which are these guys. And the beautiful part is, now that I've read the key, the brown ones are the random scenarios. So I can just skip all these and don't even have to look at the numbers until I get to the brown ones, like this. And 108 is the one that we just unlocked. So I gotta put the camera down to do this, but I gotta pop the advent calendar here. And there she be. We got the lustrous pit. And of course my sticky stuff stayed on. Like, it's really cool in concept, but peeling these off is actually not as easy as it should be. Alright, yeah, so lustrous pit is at C12. It's got a question mark on it because it's a random scenario, and it's light blue in color, which means it's like a Algox enemy type of scenario. I think these are probably pretty good. Usually when we did the random scenarios, that's where the designer gets really cute with the missions. Like, they have all kinds of crazy goals, but there's usually really good outcomes that come from it. But anyways, there you have it. Scenario 108 is unlocked, and it's on C12 of the Overland map. So I don't know if it's easy enough to find C12. It is. My apologies, you're not seeing much, but C12 is here, right there, 108, and Frosthaven is down here. So it's not too far away from home. Okay. That was quite the sidetrack for the side quest. Gotta lift you up to get the advent calendars out of the way. These components are a massive table hog. I don't know how some of you are doing it at home. I got a nice, 8 foot by 4.5 foot table, and I am just filling this sucker up. And then of course I have all these things that are around me, to my left, to my right, in front of me, behind me. So like everything should be within easy arm's reach, and that's what makes it hard. I mean, I guess if I had, like, for example, some other player here helping me, I can give him some of the components and let him be in charge of that. It does make it easier. And I know you guys say you're impressed that I'm handling 4 characters. I actually don't think that's very hard. The hard part is keeping everything else together. Controlling a character, to me, is not the challenge. But I think it's because I've played Gloomhaven, and I have at least a lot of experience with these type of mechanics. I still get the rules wrong, don't get me wrong, but I at least understand the mechanics of of card play and like what to do. I agree. If I hadn't played Gloomhaven first, trying to control four characters would be a nightmare. Okay. Uh, Banner Spear. Her turn. She is sitting in the back. We need to go up and murder, death, kill. So, can I pincer this guy? I do have pincer movement played, or I can just do a basic attack. If I did this, I would do I would need 3 movement, 4 movement to be able to do a pincer. And that card that I burned was the perfect card to be able to do the pincer. So I can't do the pincer. In fact, I don't even have 3 movement. I only have 2 because of my basic movement. So what I am going to do is look at this. I can move 1 space and I can loot everything around it. The skeleton's in my way, but I can move here and then I can loot both of these. And I know that doesn't sound very productive because I should be hitting the boss, but I have no way to hit the boss. It's just literally impossible. So I'm going to do that with this card. And then with this one, I can heal somebody for 2 and then give them regenerate. And I'm actually going to heal the middle for 2 and I'm going to give it regenerate because I suspect it's not going to get attacked as much. And now with regenerate, it can slowly start to heal. And then the 2 loot tokens was actually quite glorious because we had so many of them on the ground. There's loot 1, lumber, towards retirement. Loot 2 is a hide. So that's 1 more towards retirement there. Got a lumber and a hide. Alright, so the Banner Spear has a goal to loot 8 lumber. So we're going to write on here lumber. And she's already looted 1. So she's just looted 2 of the 8 lumber that she needs to retire. And actually it doesn't retire. It unlocks a scenario which then, if she follows the conclusion, will let her retire. So she's got a lot to do. It's not quite as easy as saying just loot 8. 8 is just beginning it. So, I actually think that was a good use of her time. Alright, she is at the end. So now, Reinhardt goes invisible. So we can't hit Reinhardt anymore. And she's putting ice on the board. Reinhardt does take 1 damage because she's wounded. And the good news with all of this is even though we can't hit her, she didn't hit us either. Okay, and then the skeletons go, and because she's invisible, there's no focus. And that just cracks me up. So, we're going to then go ahead and just rest the Bone Shaper. And I have to burn a card. And the card I'm going to burn is the skeleton card. Because I can't summon more skeletons. All that's going to do is make my game end. And then, yeah, she has 1 more turn left with her stuff. I mean, she's got the Warden robes that can protect her skeletons. She actually still has... no, she has the Wraith out now. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the round. Remember, What's-Her-Face is invisible. So whatever we do this round, we got to wait until she reappears, which is annoying. But we did get the loot. So now it's just a matter of finishing her off, and she has 3 health. So she may heal herself. And remember, we can't ever do a basic action with the Bone Shaper. I still don't think I have. If I did, it was pure accident and not intended. I think there was 1 time I didn't want to burn the card. And I said I would do basic. Was it there? No, I don't think there was. But if there was, I apologize. That was not my intention. I would have burned the card. So anyways, can't fix it. Remember? Just like we said, move forward. Um, what are our new cards? Well, for the Bone Shaper, she only has 2. And she's going to go as late as possible because going early doesn't do her any good if there's nobody to focus on. So she's going to go at 43. I'm going to go 99 with the Banner Spear. She's resting. Blink Blade is going to go 99. Drifter, 99. We're going to do nothing this round. We're just going to... the Bone Shaper is the only one going. So we're going to go ahead and draw our card. And sure enough, the Bone Shaper is going first, which sucks. And we're going to do absolutely nothing again. Okay. So do nothing. I'm going to move 4 spaces, and then I guess we're healing ourselves. I don't need to heal myself, though. But in order to stay in tune with our battle goal, I will heal myself, even though I'm at full health. I could do it the other way around, but there's nobody to attack. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Puts me in the room. And then I have the heal self, which I am full health, but I will use it anyways because that's what I need to do for purposes. And yeah, I was hoping that Reinhardt would have gone first. So he's going to consume the snow to give herself strength, to bless herself, and then she's going to do a ranged attack of 2 to 3, and it's going to be against Blink Blade, which is going to kill him. So actually no, because she prefers not to move. So the next target is Drifter. So she's actually going to attack Drifter because that allows her to attack without disadvantage, and that will give her where she doesn't have to move. So here we go. So +1, and we said this was a 3 damage attack. But she takes 1 damage for her wound, and she's dead. And why is she dead? Because the Drifter has this ability here with a Retaliate 2. So yeah, the Drifter can easily absorb a 3 damage attack, and then the Drifter retaliates, and it kills the boss, and boom, we won the scenario without needing the summons. What was I going to say? The scenario ends when all enemies are dead at the end of the round. So that means I shouldn't have rested with all my characters. I could have gone and did some looting. But I didn't know that that was going to happen. So I apologize a million times over. And anyways, how much loot did I leave on the table? I left 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, come on. I did pretty well. The loot deck, I don't know how to tell how many cards are left in a loot deck, but there was something like only 4 cards left. Alright, so everybody was resting, so we wouldn't have been able to loot or do anything else, so that's done. Scenario is complete. And boy, was that a doozy. And it was a doozy because I opened that door when I did. And then, of course, they swarmed it, and we had to run in, and Blink Blade was down to 1 health, and, you know, all that jazz. So we're going to go to 168.3, which I don't know what that means here. But 168.3 is what we read when we win. So let me get the app open. This was scenario 65.
Disperses into the air, and the other creatures lingering in the area take flight, leaving you in peace. Without a sound, Voice of Eight materializes in front of the elemental array, and they position themselves around the device, chanting words of an ancient tongue. The sound of their 8 separate voices is eerie and beautiful, and it makes you wonder how much of their individualism they each gave up to sustain their existence. A few minutes into the chant, the ice upon the array starts melting, and one of the Esthers steps forward, dissolving into a mist that envelops the contraption, making it glow from within. A few haunting minutes later, the misty Esther reforms, and the rest falls silent.
The anchor is the only thing still intact. We must find new elemental cores, at least 4 of them, and put them back into place, or this array will continue to be nothing more than a memory of ages past. We will search them out across the plains, and return to you when we have devised a way to retrieve them.
Okay, so the reward, we're going to gain 2 lumber. I'm assuming collective means we just gain 2, and not 2 each. And then 2 collective metal. And then we're going to add 95.4 to the calendar in 6 weeks. This is what I'm saying. Like, 6 weeks is a long time. And trust me, they said we need 4 things. So this was just the first of the 4. So we got 3 more missions that each have like these big long delays between them. It's going to be forever before this character retires. So 6 weeks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is right here. And it says 95.4. If you ever write in the number and then you can't read it later, you're doing yourself a big disservice. So 95.4. And then we're going to get 2 lumber and 2 metal. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it here. 1, 2 lumber and 1, 2 metal. Like so. And yes, trust me, I never have a pencil. I can make this small space last a long time. When there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Let's finish. Let's wrap up the scenario then. This scenario, of course, is complete. So I don't need the app. I need to go charge all my devices. I have literally been playing this one scenario all day. I started at 10 a.m. and it is, what time is it right now? 9:38 p.m. Now, I took breaks to make lunch. I took breaks to make dinner. I had interruptions. I'm not trying to tell you I've been playing all day, but for sure, just looking at the recording time, 2, 4, this was a 6-hour mission. That's a lot. That's an awful lot. So, yeah, would it be quicker if I wasn't controlling 4 characters? Yeah, I get all that. And it'd be quicker if I wasn't playing by myself, too. Don't disagree with any of that. Okay, so flipping this over, we did not have anybody go unconscious. Now, if somebody would have gone unconscious, as long as the rest of the party wins, you still win. I don't know if there's like a thing like you lose your loot, or I don't think any of that's true. Because the scenario is not lost just because somebody gets exhausted. The scenario, whether it's lost or completed, we recover all discarded cards. We reset our dials, remove all conditions, gain experience, and then gain gold from the loot cards. And then we're going to, if the scenario is completed, so even if we lose, we get the gold and the experience. You see that? And then just because you're exhausted, that, again, it's only scenario lost or completed. It's not anything else. Now, we get the scenario bonus experience only if you beat the scenario. That should be in here somewhere. It's not. So I guess that you get the experience for just participating in the scenario. Okay, fair enough. So lots and lots to do. We not only completed the scenario, we did not lose, and so we get to do both. So we're going to grab our loot cards gain that. We're going to do our check marks and read the scenario conclusion, which actually we just did. And then we're going to gain our scenario rewards. Now, the one thing, it did say 2 lumber, 2 metal. That was our rewards. I know it doesn't sound like a lot for 6 hours, but that's what we got. Okay, so let's start at the top, and I'm going to get out this. These are our little cards. So we're going to start with the banner spear. The banner spear has a couple of things. Oh, I got to get the app open one more time. The banner spear has 6 experience and then gets 6 more from the mission. So we're going to add 12. And then we have a hide, a lumber, and this is actually counts as 2, so $2. So the lumber is already marked down here, but we're going to add a lumber, a hide, and then I'm using poker chips for the money. So I'm just going to get her $2. So now she can donate to that road event next time. She finally got off the schneid and has some. All right, so I'm just going to put these here because we got to put those back in the deck. All right, next one. Oh, we got to do check marks. Banner spear gained 2 check marks finally. Yay! And as you can see, she's going to get her first perk, and then she gets 1 more check mark. So with her perks, there are some decent ones here. On each scenario, during your turn, gain 2 shield for the round. Once each scenario. It's decent. Whenever you open a door, add +3 movement. Even more decent. I like it. At the end of each of your long rests, grant 1 ally a move 3. So this would be the way to get your banner to move with you. That's the way to do it right there. You do your long rest, you fight around your banner, you do a long rest, and you move your banner forward. That still sounds painful, but it's the way to do it. Ignore item effects of -1 and remove a -1 card. This actually is really good because you get rid of a -1 and you can start wearing the heavy armor, which I don't think we can make the hide armor, but that's about it. Now, this one is also nice. Get rid of a -1 and get a roller card that has a shield. Replace a +0 with a +1. Add +1 strength for each ally adjacent to the target. So that's all what the card says. It's all of that. There's not a bad one here, to be quite honest. But which one is the best one to start? I would say if I want to get a mastery, I have to get this one at some point. But it's not the best one. The best one is let's ignore the item effects and remove a -1 card. So we're going to do that one. So I very, very happily say goodbye to that card. And just out of curiosity, 26, 36, 38, 48, 50, that's going to be a level up. So very, very happy with that. Going to get a level up out of her. All right, did I forget anything else? No, we're good. All right, let's go to Blinkblade. Blinkblade has 2 experience plus 6 is 8. 12, 22, 30, 38. Not leveling up. Boo. All right, we got an arrow vine, a snow thistle, a hide, and 2 gold. So we're sitting on 2, 3 hide, an arrow vine, and a thistle. So we got one of these and one of those. Which I can't remember, but one of those is, like, I know for a fact that this helps make that healing potion. So let's get, or stamina, let's get another one of those out. Okay, he did not complete his combat objective, because that's right, he had to kill somebody. So while he has 2 perks, that's all the better he's going to do. and he's not leveling up. That's the part that hurts. If you recall, he had two objectives where he needed to get 7 experience or less. And I just can't believe that we didn't play cards that gave him experience, but I guess we didn't. That we never used. I know that. We never used that. I thought for sure we at least did that a couple times. But yeah, those were the areas that would have given him the experience points. Nothing there. I gained 1 for that. I gained 1 for that. Maybe I missed it once. But yeah, after looking at the cards, that is all the better he did. Alright. The Drifter. The Drifter has 8 experience, plus 6 is 14. Drifter is definitely leveling up. And that is 4 coins. And I'm going to just drop a coin back and grab a 5. The Drifter's rolling in the money. And we got a hide. We have a medal. He's testing his medal. A snow thistle and an arrow vine. So 1 and 1, like so. Alright, and he did complete his objective, which is 1 check mark. So yay team for him. And 1 check mark up here. And then Miss Bone Shaper gets 2 check marks. So she will get a perk. 1 and 2. She has 6 experience plus 6. She's going to get 12. That is a level up for sure. And what do we got? We got 2, 4, 6 gold. So we're going to grab her that right now. That puts her at around 10. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 more gold. 8 gold. Okay, and then a lumber and a metal. Alright, last thing to do is just to check. Replace a -1 with a 0 and a curse. Curses are great. They really are. -1 with a 0 and poison. These are both good. What are the special ones? Start of each scenario, you may play a level 1 card from your hand to perform a summon. That is really nice, because that gets summons on the board quicker. These scenarios are usually pretty crammed in the beginning, but it is still nice, though, to get a summon on the board quick. I still think I need to get rid of the -1s first. Once each scenario, when any character ally would become exhausted by suffering damage, you may suffer 2 to reduce their hit point, so you basically could save them, and it's any ally. Character allies, that's a player. Immediately before each of your rests, you may kill one of your summons to perform Bless Self. And this is the thing, kill at least 15 of your summons. Ignore scenario effects and add 2 + 1 cards. Okay, from a statistic perspective, getting rid of the -1s is the best. All the time. However, ignoring scenario effects is sometimes going to be better. Because sometimes the scenario effect adds 2 -1s to your deck. Like the last time. But we don't always have scenario effects, so it's like when it happens, it's glorious, but when it doesn't, it's worthless. I love this one. Kill the attacking summon to instead add +4 damage. Add 3 of these cards. Oh my gosh. I like this character. It's got some really good stuff. I'm going to replace a -2 with a 0. The curse is nice though. Like this one is really nice, but getting rid of the -2. When you have summons that only do 2 damage, that's huge. Very disheartening to draw that -2. And there she be. I'm going to say, good riddance. Okay, I think I have everything covered. I need to get rid of the curse card that we have. Some of us have. I don't know who still has one. The banner spear must have been the one that drew, because I'm pretty sure she had one. I thought the drifter had the other one. Let me check. It did. So that's out. Alright. What else do we need to do? We gained our resources from loot cards. We did our check marks. We did our perk marks. We did our scenario conclusion. We got our scenario rewards. We need to update the map, which actually in this case there's nothing to update because we didn't unlock new scenarios. There will be, it will, trust me, I already peeked ahead. That thing that shows up on our calendar is the next time they find something. So it'll be the next time we can do a scenario. And then we're going to return to Frosthaven for the outpost phase. So I will do that in the next video. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with the some of the rough touches and goes where I keep forgetting rules and scenario effects, but I still have a blast playing this. I just forget things sometimes. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.